Elon Musk to launch Starlink in Africa. Following a recent announcement from SpaceX CEO Elon Musk, it has been confirmed that SpaceX will be launching its satellite network into Africa. In a bid to provide broadband internet service to rural and underserved citizens across Africa, Elon Musk has set up a powerful broadband supporting satellite network known as Starlink. The purpose of this network is to provide high-speed, low-latency, and affordable broadband access to individuals and organizations all over the world. As such, the people of Kenya and Africa at large would have direct access to high-speed internet through this project. Hello, and welcome to another video of Finance Sense, where we cover all the latest trends in the financial markets and the economy. Before we start, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment below if you enjoyed watching this video, and turn on the notification bell to keep posted. And now, without further ado, let's start. Elon Musk, a renowned entrepreneur and investor who ranks second on both the Bloomberg Billionaires Index and Forbes Real-Time Billionaires list, has announced his intention to further his already massive company and influence by entering the lucrative African marketplace. According to a report published by Business Insider Africa, Elon Musk's satellite internet startup Starlink, which is a part of SpaceX, has declared that it will launch in Kenya during the second quarter of 2023, pending clearance from the relevant regulatory authorities. Elon Musk created Starlink with the intention of providing consumers all over the globe with access to high-speed and low-latency internet. Starlink is the first and biggest satellite network in the world, and it uses a low-Earth orbit to transmit broadband internet. Starlink is able to handle streaming, gaming, video conferencing, and other similar activities. Due to the fact that its satellites are located far closer to the surface of the Earth than standard geostationary internet beaming satellites, Starlink can provide significantly faster speeds and reduced latency compared to the standard satellite service. The traditional rectangular satellite dish is rated for download speeds ranging from 20 to 100 megabits per second, with latency ranging from 25 to 50 milliseconds for residential use. As almost all satellite internet services are delivered by single geostationary satellites that orbit the Earth, the typical internet connection is extremely slow. This is because the round-trip data between the user and the satellite, which is also referred to as latency, takes a significant amount of time. Streaming content online, playing online games, participating in video conferences, and other activities that need a high data rate becomes very difficult to do. According to the company's main website, Starlink plans to solve the issue by deploying a constellation of thousands of satellites that will orbit the planet much closer to Earth, at a distance of approximately 550 kilometers, and will cover the entire world, ensuring a lower latency. The launch of Starlink in Kenya, which is scheduled to take place in the second quarter of this year, will signal the company's entry into the African market. This launch is also a component of Starlink's overarching mission to offer internet access to remote and underserved areas all over the world. The decision to expand into Kenya was made at a time when there was an increasing demand for a faster internet connection for online streaming, video chats, and online gaming. The rising costs of digitization and the high data rates are directly responsible for the rise in demand for these services. Starlink customers in Kenya may anticipate a connection to the internet that is both reliable and inexpensive, which will contribute to the closing of the digital divide in the nation. Download speeds range from 20 megabits per second up to 100 megabits per second with a service for average consumers, and from 40 megabits up to 220 megabits for commercial customers. Pre-orders for the service may now be placed by Kenyans, who will be required to pay a $99 deposit that will be returned in full if the transaction is ultimately successful. The business said on its website that it will begin providing service in a number of cities. Some of these locations include Nairobi, Kisumu, Mombasa, and Nakuru. It is expected that the firm would encounter intense rivalry from many industry giants such as Airtel, Telcom, Faba, and Safaricom, which is the primary internet service provider in Kenya, upon entering the Kenyan market. The majority of these modern internet service providers offer access primarily via the use of fiber optic cables, Wi-Fi, and cellular networks. In the last 5 years, there has been a surge in consumer demand for internet streaming services such as Netflix. In order to meet this demand, Safaricom has made huge investments that amount to billions of shillings to extend its fixed data network in a bid to connect homes. For a number of years, it has maintained an almost unrivaled market position in the highly developed nation in East Africa. Despite this, several industry analysts believe that Safaricom's dominance in Kenya is currently at risk as a result of the recent arrival of Iristel, a Canadian telecom company, and now Elon Musk's Starlink. Both of these companies are in the business of providing telecommunication services. Elon Musk made the announcement that Starlink had already secured a license to operate in Mozambique, Malawi, and Nigeria a year ago, so it's going to be interesting to see how well the SpaceX company will continue to penetrate the African market in the coming years. According to the official coverage map for the Starlink service, at least 20 nations throughout Africa have either already implemented Starlink or are on the verge of doing so in the very near future. However, many people are perplexed by the fact that Elon Musk seems to have ignored South Africa, the nation in which he was born. Given that the creator of SpaceX was born in the country, some people thought that he could have an interest in bringing the service to the country as soon as possible. However, it does not appear that this is the case at the present time. It is interesting to note that Mozambique and Nigeria were the first two countries in Africa to receive Starlink, with rollouts around the fourth quarter of 2022 in both of these countries. Other than that, Angola, Eswatini, Gabon, Malawi, Rwanda, and Tanzania are some of the other African nations that will be launching their satellites in the first quarter of 2023. In the later part of the year, 2023, access will be granted to 11 different African countries. Estimates suggest that by the year 2024, a total of 12 countries on the African continent, including the unrecognized state of Somaliland, will have access to the service. It could be especially useful in the rural parts of South Africa where there is no or very limited mobile or fixed internet access. On the other hand, this is not the first time that Elon Musk has neglected to consider South Africa. There have been many questions and calls for explanations about why he chose not to invest in his native country after his Tesla electric car company joined the African market this past year, starting in Morocco. When Tesla established its first two supercharger stations in Morocco in 2021, the company marked its entry into the African market for the first time. This drew criticism because Tesla's CEO has long spoken about creating a branch in South Africa, where he was born, but has yet to actually do so. Musk was born in Pretoria, South Africa, to a white South African father and a Canadian mother. Before moving to Canada at the age of 18 and becoming a citizen of that country, he attended the University of Pretoria for a short period of time. He was the oldest of 3 children, with his brother Kimball and sister Tosca following after him. He fled South Africa at the height of the apartheid era in order to avoid being drafted into the unpopular army. To this date, South Africa remained one of the countries for whom the availability dates of the service were unknown. The service dates are dependent on whether or not Starlink has obtained a license to proceed with a rollout from the appropriate local regulator and has reached sufficient satellite capacity to cover specific locations. Considering that the Starlink network is expected to achieve worldwide coverage, the primary obstacle that is preventing its deployment in nations whose legal standing is uncertain appears to be regulation. Hi! We hope that watching this video was interesting and that you learned something valuable. If you enjoyed it, please hit the notification button, like, subscribe, and watch more of our videos. Also, don't forget to share your comments in the comments section below. This is Finance Sense, helping you stay current on all the most recent changes in the financial markets and economy. Stay safe and look out for the next video.